Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia Bee, and I'm so excited to be back with you today. It's been a while since I filmed, which I feel like I say that every time I come back on, but it actually has been a couple of months. I think the last time I filmed was a kit parade. I'm pointing towards my kits as if you know where they're at. A kit parade where I just kind of went through, again, that's the second time I've done that this year, but where I just kind of like went through all my cross stitch kits and saw if there was like any that I didn't want anymore or wanted to start. And I've actually started 2 of those and then have plans for a third one, which I will talk about later. So that's the last time I saw you. My office might look a little bit different in the time that you all have known me. How many times have you known that I love to change around my office? It's been in so many different rooms in our house, and I'm still in the same room that I've been in for like 2 years now, but I just got moved furniture around a little differently because I got this cute little vintage couch. It's adorable, like floral couch, and it just makes it like the coziest stitching spot in my office where I can watch girly movies that my teenage boys and husband don't care about. So anyway, why did I tell you about that? I don't know. So everything looks not everything. Some things look a little bit different in here. I was excited to film today, and I don't know, something about the fall when things start to like settle down and just start to go slower. I always feel like I film more and I film better in fall and winter than I do other times of the year. I think in the summer we're just busy outside. Anyway, all that to say, I'm excited to film today. I do not have a ton for you, so I'm not sure that this will be very long. I'm going to show you just projects I've been working on. I also don't have a great memory of what what I have stitched. I got the cutest planner. Let me show you. I got the cutest. I did not buy a book of days this year. I don't know why. I just did not. But I did see this planner, the Happy Planner, which is not I'm a planner girl. I have to have paper. I do not love Happy Planner because I don't love the discs. But they were running a clearance sale like back in July for back to school, and I saw this cover and I was like, well, it does look quilted. It's also not in a color scheme that I would normally use, but it's like neon colors, which that is not me, but it's just it looks like a little quilt. I don't know. And every month has like a different quilt like design. I don't know. It's just cute. And the reason that I thought, oh my gosh, I'll love this is because, so it has your month calendar and then your 3 priorities for the month, some grid paper, just a little grid section for important details. So I've been writing like my starts here. This in September specifically, we were attending a wedding reception. And so I started and finished their gift in September. But on this is what I love so much, is it only gives 1 line per day, and I can write like what I stitched on that. Now, I didn't actually receive this till the middle of September, but in the month that I've used this, I don't know, I'm doing okay. It's not like the best thing in the world. A lot of days I forget to write in it, but it fits on my cart perfectly, which that's what I was going to say. I'm going to show you stitching, but because I don't have a lot to show you and a ton to talk about, and I know you guys like longer videos, I thought I would show you my stitching cart. You can kind of see it in the background here, but I'll move over to the couch and show you what is on my cart. I have a 3-tiered like IKEA cart, and I shared this with you guys before, but did you know that the Longenberger travel basket that everybody is making so cute fits in the top of that IKEA Raskog cart? And so I have done that. So that's what you see sticking up here is my Longenberger basket with all my rubbish. And then, so anyway, all that to say, after stitching, stick around because I'll move over to the couch and show you that. But this is, I forget what this planner size is called. This one is 2025 to 2026, but I really liked that it has that like 1 line a day. Now, Let me see for bowerbirds. I stitched, so I don't have that to show you. I started and finished bowerbirds in September for that wedding gift that I was telling you. Let me see if I did what I think. Anyway, once you get past the single line page, then it goes into your week. So like it's a normal, here we go. It's a normal like planner layout. So I thought that I had like moved to the day and then write all the info. Like I started it on 40 count, blah, 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 with any thread substitution I'd made. But I guess maybe I didn't do that. Or did I start it in August? No, it was September that I got this planner. So in my brain, I did that thing. But in reality, I didn't actually write it on there. So I'm not sure. Maybe I did it with Land That I Love. I don't know. It was, oh, here. Okay. So in October is another new start, Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. So I started Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut, my fabric, my floss, and then who I'm stitching with. So this is a great little size and it's not too thick and you can add pages in. So I started a Sal and I printed off, I promise I'm not this unorganized all the time. I printed off the cover sheet and then drew in how we were going to split it up. This is not my, I forget who the original person is that split it up into like 12 months. So I printed out, folded it up, and I can, because I have this type of hole punch, I can just put it straight in there and then have it all the time. Okay. It's way more about planners than you wanted to know, isn't it? Okay. What else? I don't know. Since I saw you last, I'm trying to think. We're teaching a kid how to drive. Is that crazy? I feel like that's crazy that I have a kid old enough to drive, but we are. It's going swimmingly. We're doing that. I decorated my house last week for Christmas. Judge me if you will, but we had a really hard fall, a really hard September, and I needed to move on from that. And we don't do Halloween or anything in our house, so I was like, let's put up Christmas. Why not? Now we fully still celebrate Thanksgiving and all the things. We just do it in Christmas decor, just because it's a very special season. Anyway. So that's what we did this week. Super fun. I really enjoy doing that. And my kids are old enough that they enjoy helping with that. We are full in the swings of school. Yeah, teaching a kid how to drive. I think I'd rather teach a kid to go to the potty. Like, I think I'd rather do potty training than driving. But it's going well. It's fine. I don't think anything else. We're entering into the busy season for Nathan for work. So, but I don't actually know if oh yes, I've said this before because you guys can hear him sometimes in my videos, but he works from home now. So juggling that and just being in a different season where he's home, but working all the time is just different. So I'm just grateful he's still working. Okay, let me stop gabbing and get into some stitching. So I've kind of been all over the place with my stitching for the last couple of months. So the thing that I gifted was Hello from Liz Matthews Bowerbirds. I don't even think, I don't see it in my finished drawer. I think I threw away because I make a working copy so I can make notes on it because I did change a couple of things. In each of the birds, let me Google a picture of it right quick. And I can show you that. In the middle of the birds is like a cross section. And I changed it to hearts. Hello from Liz Matthews. Bowerbirds. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. I actually do have a real picture of like my finish. Not on my iPad because it's on my phone, which I'm filming on. Okay. Okay, so let me at least show you what the pattern itself looks like. So this is from an Etsy listing. Not now. Okay, just kidding. Okay, this is a picture from Sassy Jacks. So it's such a cute, here we go. So that's what that is. Let me pause. I would like to show you a picture of the actual finish. Okay, that was just a quick second for you, but I wanted to actually show you the finish. So here is the finish that I did of Bowerbirds. I changed, I'll tell you. I'll hold it up. Okay, so this was my finish. I don't know, it might be too dark. So the floss and fabric I can't tell you at all because the fabric was like a random cut that I had in like my scraps, and the floss is misdyed from Color and Cotton, so it only has like a number. It doesn't actually have a name. It was like a misdye. So with that being said though, so here's the changes that I made. So their last name starts with an S. So the S got a pink, switched to pink, and the birds were switched to pink. Now the birds in the original pattern, you're not gonna be able to see them in this picture. The birds in the original pattern, this little hole that you see in them was like 4 dots. I just made them into a heart. And then what I did, by the first letter of each of their names, here's the tiny little, see, there's a heart there and a heart there. And then their last initial, and then these cute little birds. So this is a very young couple that I have known for a very, very long time. I've known the groom for since he was a toddler. They're very young, so they're not into cross stitch. So I was afraid if I made a wedding sampler for them, the bride would look at it and be like, "Ooh, what is this?" In fact, somebody else in our church who saw this thought it was a baby announcement, and somebody explained, "No, that's not a baby announcement." So anyway, all that to say, they loved it. Actually, it's very subtle when you look at it straight on. Like, you can see the colors really well, but in fact, I was like, "Gosh, I actually love this. I would love to have this on for us." But let me see. Here it is, straight on. And I just did a very simple wooden frame. But see how it's like, you really have to look at it to see what it is. I really liked the verification. Wow, the variegation in the letters. And that pink was just really subtle and pretty. The bride's favorite color is pink. So, okay, I keep shutting this off and I need it for whips. Okay, so that's something I started and finished. And then, like I said, I've been kind of all over the place as far as stitching goes, because I've really just done like whatever I feel like, which without a plan. Okay, so let me show you. Here we go. I was like, this first one I don't even have a picture of, but I do. So after I filmed that last video, which was my cross stitch kits, I decided there were a couple that I wanted to start right away. And this is not an original pattern, it's one of the reprints, but the Preschooler Christmas alphabet. I love this. I briefly did think about doing this into pillows, but I have a couple of other projects that I'm doing into tiny pillows, and the thought is very daunting of having to finish all of those. So I'm just doing it like this. And here is my start on that after just a few days. So I love a good, just Prairie Schoolers. I don't need to change any of the colors. I don't need to do anything differently. I love the DMC. That white is standing out really, really well on this fabric. So I love this. I didn't, and I won't change anything about it. This fabric, again, is a scrap. I don't remember what it is. I know it's a Bee Stitch Me by the way it's dyed. but I don't actually know what it is, but it's a really long piece. Now it won't be near this long, but yeah, so I'm enjoying this. I like it a lot. I am gonna lay it over here. I was just telling someone this morning I'm really tired of pressing. I'm really tired of pressing my projects. Just because I've never made it a habit to iron my things before I show them to you on camera, but I do like how nice it looks to do that. So anyway. Okay, this is a whip that I've had in my pile since 2020. This is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. This is a free pattern that she put out. And anyway, I very much like this. I did my own floss conversions, so the notes that I have in this, like you'll see, like I've scratched out some, changed them again, changed fabrics, all the things. So, she's a very sweet person. Her name is Christy. But you can find this through her. So I worked on that just a little bit. Let me find it here. So this fabric I love so much. It's a beautiful gray, and I really wanted to mimic the fabric that she had in the pattern. So here is where I'm at. Again, very small amount of progress, not a ton. And I will show you where I was last time that I worked on this. This is called Pandemic Sampler. See even the picture that I have. So this was in 2023 is the last time I pulled this project out. So here's where I was. Even the picture is wrinkly. And here's where I'm at now. So not a great deal of progress, but I did get that done. So there's where I'm at now. I love this. I like the vibrant colors that it's coming out with. Okay, so that is one project that I worked on. I will tell you what this fabric is. It is 46 count Be Stitch Me in the color Stonehenge. That's what that is. I like it. It's very pretty. I like, I mean, in 2 years, that's all the progress that I've made, but I like the vibrancy of the colors, and I cannot wait to get to those houses. So I'm shocked that I haven't made more progress on this. Just because I know I will get this question. And if you've not seen this planner before, this planner is the project planner from QuirksandStitches, Jen Lee. She is also the 24 hours of cross stitch floss tuber. I think her floss tube name, well, I don't want to, now I'm going to get it all messed up. She's QuirksandStitches. Her name is Jen Lee. She is the creator of 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. There you go. She has a floss tube. She makes amazing planners, digital planners, and PDF that you can print out. So I have all my categories of whips. Mine are Christmas, fall, Thanksgiving, patriotic, spring, just spring. I was going to say spring break. What am I? Our home, bee, friendship, and gift stitching. And so each one I just list out. So this one, I was looking for this Pandemic Sampler, and it told me it was on tab 4. So then I go up here and I look for tab 4 and I click on it and it takes me to that tab. I have listed the fabric, the flosses, progress picture. So today after I film, I'll put a new progress picture in there. You can scroll through. There's like room for you to write things. There's grid paper in case you need to like make some changes to the things you're doing. And then I go back and there's all of my, this category is our home. So it's things I intend to hang in our home all the time. So just so I save those words and hopefully answer any questions you might have. Okay, so that's the project I worked on. I also pulled out, let me get the pattern for it. a Kathy Barrick pattern that I've had in my 12 by 12 folder for a really long time. 12 by 12 is a project that I started back in 2020 where I start 12 new things on New Year's Eve from noon to midnight. It's such a fun way to ring in the new year. I started it, the kids were, what were they, 11, 9, and 6. And so, anyway, and tech guy was always working, so I was just looking for something fun for me to do. I would let the kids play video games and things like that, and so I started that, and I've done it every year since. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. Every hour I just start a new project. Now, over the last couple of years, I've hosted with other people, and we've kind of like morphed it into this start 12 things, work on 12 whips, work on 6 new starts, 6 12 whips, work on one pattern for 12 hours. I mean, it really is just kind of up to you with what you want to do. But anyway, this I started and love it. This is a Kathy Barrick, a Quaker dwelling. I've pulled this out several times. I will show you where I was at. Let me find it. There it is, number 17. So I am doing this on 46 count Under the Sea in London Fog is the color. Here's where I was the last time I showed you. I was trying to make it bigger, but so there I was. And here, I ironed it so it looks nice right now. And again, this is 46 count in the color London Fog. So I got the door all the way put in, one more set of windows, and some more bricks. I feel like I'm not showing this very well. There we go. The detail in that door, I don't know if you can see it, like the hinges and everything. I wasn't quite sure if I loved it, and then I stitched this like red up and down to make kind of wood planks, and it really made a difference for me. So I love this. It's a great project. I've worked on it for several years now, and I'm just happy every time I pull it out. It makes me want to not put it away when I look at it right now, because I'm like, oh, I haven't actually worked on it in probably a month and a half, and it makes me want to work on it again. Okay, sorry. Drink break. Let me put this back in his bag before I forget. Also, I love when you open projects and find stitching cases that you're like, oh, that's where that has been. Silly. And also this has like, so this is just a jewelry case from Target. They had in their like $5 section. And so I keep stitching stuff in here. I'll show you. This is how easy some of these stitching things can be. So this is a jewelry case, $5 from Target. When you open it, I bought this as a stitching gift one year for friends when we had gone on a trip. And so it's obviously like a jewelry case, but then you just change it to the things you want it to be. So in here, I just have a matching pair of scissors. I have one set of needles. Oh, I have 2 sets of needles because there are crochet needles behind that. So I've got those. These just come right off, and I can use those. In the little zipper where like your earrings or rings or whatever would go, I have a needle threader just in case I should need that. I rarely use a needle threader, but I like to have one just in case. And then I have some friends out in Maine, which you might recognize, that cute little needle minder. So I lose things, and then I find them in project bags, and I'm like, oh, there it is. So I'm going to throw that in a separate place so I don't lose it again. Also is this bag. Just, I love it so much. It's beautiful. Okay. That was that. Okay, the next project is something I started, so it's not on my planner yet. I started this after I filmed that kit parade last time, whenever I filmed last, and a friend of mine reached out, and we were actually talking about another kit that I have, and she was going to buy the things for it, and we were going to start it at a retreat. The only retreat that I was scheduled for this year was one that is 20 minutes from my house, and I ended up not being able to go. The care that we had for our medical kiddo fell through, so I wasn't able to go. But anyway, so I was gonna start it at that retreat with her. And so anyway, so we're texting back and forth about that, and I was asking about something else, and she said, she just had surgery. She said that her downtime project was going to be the Teresa Kogut land that I love. And I showed this in my kit parade, and I told you all in that video that I needed half of a reason to start anything. And she was like, well, do you want to stitch it with me? So I went ahead and started this. I am nowhere near where I'm supposed to be, like in our first month. I'm already behind. But this project I love so. I love Teresa Kogut. Like, I was scrolling her patterns the other day, and there were several that I was like, man, I really love that. The green Santa. There's like a really pretty, there's several of them that I would just love to have. So I started this. I did my own floss conversion due to the fabric that I was using. The fabric I'm using is very similar to the one that she had, but I wanted my reds and blues to be a little bit more vibrant and my white to really stand out. So let me see if I can try and tell you what fabric this is. This is 46 count properly primitive. And here is the start that I have on that. Now I changed this red to, let me get my face out of the way. This red on the outside is supposed to be, hang on, let me tell you. Turkish red. It's supposed to be a DMC 3777. But I wanted it to be a little bit more vibrant, and I want it to be variegated because you use it a lot in this pattern. So I switched to Weeks Dye Works in Turkish red. Okay, so that's that color. Then that blue that you see in the leaves, that one I changed from Blue Corn, Classic Color Works, to Blue Heron from Weeks Dye Works. So, and anyway, I've made several changes. Almost all of them have changed. I have kept some of the DMCs, but I really wanted just those colors to pop a little bit more. So I love this. I don't want to put it down. I am having fun stitching that with the color changes. I think it's because I like how vibrant it is popping off the fabric. And so I love it. I don't want to change it. Okay, before I move over to my cart, let me tell you about some plans that I have. I'm gonna turn my iPad off here. So I posted this on my Instagram, and we're 3 weeks in and I'm already behind. That's okay. So I do a thing during the holidays. I started it last year where I picked a project and it became my cheesy Christmas movie project. And so I loved it. I watched a ton of Hallmark Christmas movies, you know, the really cheesy ones that have the same storyline over and over again. And then I also watched the Great American Family ones. So what I did is I watched each weekend or each week, and then on the weekends I would post to my Instagram a poll, and anybody who watched them could like vote and say, like, give it a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star rating, whatever you wanted, and then make comments on it. It was really fun. It was like a fun way to interact on Instagram. I didn't get all of them watched last year, but I wanted to do it again, and I'm going to use the same project I'll talk about in a second. But you can print out the schedules. So this one is the Great American Family schedule. It's very black and white. You can color it if you want to. But so I'm 4 movies behind on this one. So it started October 11th, and today's November 2nd. I probably won't post this today, but so there it is. And then here is a printable Hallmark one. And what I do with these, why I print them out, is because I will write my star rating, and then like any notes that I have for that movie, I can show you last year's. like any notes that I have for that movie that I want to remember to say in my post about why I'm giving it a whatever rating. Let me see. So this was last year's. See how like I wrote like little notes on there. So I would remember one of them had like Delilah. I remember in the 90s when we had Delilah on the radio. Apparently she's still on the radio. And then I would like write down the rating I gave it. So just so I would remember. So I've got my movie list ready for this year. Very excited about it. So if you want to join in, you're welcome to join in. It really is just something fun. And then I just use the same project for every movie. Most movies. Sometimes I'll switch it up to a different Christmas project or if I'm trying to get progress on something. But then it like forces me to make progress on that project. So it kind of becomes my Hallmark project. Anyway, so what that is for me is a free pattern from Aurifil. I dropped my project card and I want to tell you the fabric. So this is Joyeux Noël from Aurifil. And of course they give you a color scheme. I changed mine a bit to darken it up. And I am using, this is by Susan Aki for Aurifil. You can go to Aurifil's website and this whole project is in their free downloadables. I am using 46 count Willow by Be Stitch Me. All the projects I shared with you today were Be Stitch Me fabric. So here, let me show you where I ended last year. I say that, I hope I took a picture of where I ended last year. Christmas. Well, I did not. Okay, well here is where I'm starting this year. I am all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Now I just need to go this way. So I love it. I love how vibrant it is. I'm using all Anchor flosses and I do not love Anchor spools. The thread catches on the cheap plastic. I don't like it. So what I do is I took the wooden, these wooden clothespins and those cheap elastic hair ties go over the floss and then my working thread goes up here. This has been the best idea and I don't hate working on this project anymore because I don't know what it is about. Has anybody else found it to be this way? But when I would pull off thread from an Anchor spool, it would always catch and fray because the plastic around the edges, I don't know. It's like not cut well. You know how like they put a slit in it so your thread doesn't come unraveled, but it's like that slit is not cut well and it bends. Anyway, all that to say, I did this and I love it for this project. So this is my Hallmark project. I'm actually going to pull it out tonight and watch some movies. I watch all of these on Friendly. It's FRNDLY. I think I pay $8 a month for Friendly, and that gets you like, you can record them too if you're going to miss it. But then they also just have them on demand as well. Friends of mine last year or the year before told me about it was 2 years ago, told me about Friendly and I started using it. I only keep it during the winter time and then come like January we cancel it and then come November I start it again and they're very okay with that. So I'm excited to get this started again and see how much progress I make this year. Oh, it's a good project. It really is. All right. Let me think. Oh, another plan. Sorry. I told you there was another kit that I had in my thing that I wanted to start. And this wasn't a kit. It was just a pattern. That's what it was. It was a pattern. There was, someone, a Flosstube talking about a floss. And this friend and I both text each other and said, oh my goodness, this floss would be perfect for that church. So this is the Plum Street This I Know. I love this so much, but I want a white shaker church, like white wood paneling. And so I'm going to change it to that, but I am planning on starting this very soon. I thought about starting it. I thought about starting it when I decorated for Christmas, and that was this last week, and I haven't started it yet. So it's going to get started soon. I still actually don't even have all the floss for it, but I think I might just pull from stash. You cannot see this bottom shelf down here. I like redid all of my, let me pull one out. I redid all of my DMC and overdyed flosses into these acrylic boxes, and it is the best decision. Oh my goodness, I love these. So this is what they look like, and I just have a marker saying like here they are, and then they all fit in these great little boxes. So I did it for DMC, and then I loved it so much I did all of my overdyed flosses by color, because if I go to pull a floss, I'm typically, like if I'm doing a conversion, I typically am like pulling, I'm trying to grab one to show you. Here we go. I typically am pulling for a color, not necessarily brand and a name. So like here's all my oranges. And then I have, anyway, by color family. It's worked out really well. I've really enjoyed it, is all I was trying to say. And I got those acrylic drawer things on Amazon. I think I ended up paying, like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I'm only using 6 of them because all my silks I thought I would want in there, and I do not. I don't want them against that plastic. So not for any particular reason other than I didn't love them in there. So I think for 7 of them, I may have paid like $40 for all the drawers, and they fit in this cabinet perfectly. So I really like that. Okay, I'm going to move you, and I'll sit on the couch and I'll show you this IKEA cart. Okay, I'm going to show you, this is just an IKEA Raskog cart. It is the larger of the two, and because they do have a mini one, but the mini one doesn't fit the Longaberg basket, and that was what was important to me. So I just got the black one. There are 3 tiers to it. You just can't see that bottom tier because I'm just going to tell you about what's in it, but there are 3 tiers to it. I got the optional tray. You can get it as like a lid. Typically, I think in the pictures it shows it on the top shelf, but I knew I wanted it on the bottom shelf, or like one of the bottom ones. So you can get a tray that like sits in there perfectly. And then because the cart is all metal, that means it's magnetic. So I've used a lot of that to my advantage, I feel. So let me kind of walk you around and show you. I know lots of people have done these types of videos like on their stitching carts. I just thought maybe you would like to see mine as well. So also in the background over there, you can see how those, I can't see. Over there, you can see how those drawers, or those acrylic drawers fit in that cabinet. Okay, so let's start at the top. So I have, I'm going to take this off for a minute because I will talk about it in a few minutes. So on the top, I just have my Longaberger basket. This is the travel basket that everyone talks about. And so I can take it out and like carry it with me to a retreat if I would go to one, or if I just want to take that out, I could do that. So this is the Longaberger travel basket, or the medium basket with the travel lid. That's what it's called. And I just have some fun like decor. Like this is just fun decor. It is one of the old Easy Bake Oven trays. The new ones don't fit, but this rectangle, these fit perfectly. So some of this is just decorative and some of it is for fun. Also, has anybody seen a chapstick that tiny? It's so fun. I love it. It's from Burt's Bees. But I actually do utilize like the pin cushion and this pin cushion. Sometimes I do feel like I need a thimble because I'm working on some wool applique. And then, I don't know, it's just cutesy little fun things. You've seen this before. It's a tiny that I finished during, what is that called? StitchCon. I stitched it right before StitchCon. We had something at Friends and I had a petite retreat right before that. And that little guy fits perfectly right there. Then I have a flower, a candlestick flipped upside down. So what this is one of the milk glass candlesticks. See, so typically this part sits on the table and the candle goes here, but I flipped it upside down and it fits perfectly right in that little hole. And I just put all my scissors around the outside of it. Not all of them, but a good amount of scissors around the outside of that. It's cute. Then if we flip to the back of the cart, here's the side. I'll tell you about this in a second. I have the book I'm currently reading, always on the back because it just fits right there perfectly and I can do a little reading before I start stitching. Holly Neal and I saw an idea, or she brought it to me and said, do you think that would fit? And I said, that's a perfect idea. So this is one of the tiny little 4-inch embroidery hoops, and we made some into trash cans, and they fit in this little rectangle perfectly to be able just to have for your little threads and rubbish right there. That's really, really simple to make. Okay, this thing right here is not what it seems. I'm going to back it up so you can see it. I was finding that when I was stitching that at night when our son was going to bed and I would sit in that room, that I was having trouble seeing my pattern. And I thought, I wonder if there's a battery operated lamp that would fit in this hole. There's like a cup holder right here. And sure enough, Amazon for the win. So this light has 3 different colors and comes on, and of course it's very industrial looking. I'm trying to get it out of here. There we go. So this is what it's like, black, and the pole leads up to this very industrial looking light, and I didn't love that, so I took a bunch of accoutrement, I don't know what the right word is, lace and scrap fabric and some cute old spools and trims, and like, you know how you always have some lady dot that like doesn't go on anything anymore. So I just pulled all that out and decorated it so it would go right on there, and then it just sits so I can see better. It does sit up. There we go. Nope. It does sit up in there. So I do really enjoy having that. Okay, so that's all the sides. Also, this is magnetic, so all my little magnets that I use to collect my fabric on my hoops can just go on the sides. Okay, what you saw me take off was just one of those stitching trays that I feel like everyone has. And one of our complaints about these is that I feel like there's a lot of wasted space sometimes on these, and I don't love that. So I thought, you know, these everybody uses these as pattern stands. They're metal. I just need to get some magnets. So that's what I've done. So I got these magnets, bar magnets. They came like 6 for $5 maybe on Amazon. And they are super strong hold. And I just, you can see it like automatically, or you can hear, it just automatically snaps on there. So the trick is to get it where you want it and then push it up. So there we go. And then there we go. And now it holds my pattern on there. And actually, like with a quite a bit of weight, I could put a book on it. Like it's not going to move at all. So I love this so much. And then I have an extra magnet right here. So if I'm working on a certain project that's on, you know, has floss, I can just put it right there because there's a magnet underneath. So, and this holds quite a bit of weight. I could put my phone right here and like have a video, or I wanted to make sure that I could put my iPad mini here to work off of, and it does not move at all. And you can slide this like if you need it to be at a different angle so there's not a glare or whatever. I felt like that was a really good use of some wasted space there. Okay, so that's the first tray. I'm going to take this off again though so I can show you more of the second one. Yeah, my magnet stayed down there. Oh, I found an extra magnet. Hang on. Now I can't get this off. That's the thing. These magnets are great until they get stuck together and then you really can't get them off. So, okay. So that's a great use of those. Now, the second one, sorry, I dropped some things. I wanted this on here because I didn't want a cat to come up here and lay in this. So this is just my on-the-go stitching case. I don't know if anybody saw these at Target, but they're little metal, I don't know, suitcase looking things. And I put some on-the-go stitching things in there because I do stitch like at my kids' school on Wednesdays and Thursdays, because we homeschool, but we do a homeschool community together 2 days a week. So I always grab this with me. So it always sits here, so I just remember to grab it. So here is the tray. Now, quite frankly, this is where my remote goes, or like if I have coffee or whatever, it will sit here with a coaster. My planner sits here, like, you know, those things. And then this will just come off. There we go. And in here is like hand sewing that I'm doing. So right now I'm working on English paper piecing. And so there's extra fabrics in here for that, and all my little, you know, notions for doing some English paper piecing. And that fits in right here. And I didn't want the cat laying on it, so that's exactly why I wanted a tray for that specific purpose. Sometimes it's tricky to remember how this goes in. There we go. Okay, the next thing I'll show you is this. This came from Harbor Freight. Quilt companies online sell this. I mean, everybody sells these magnetic things. A dear quilting friend of mine who goes to our church, her husband went to Harbor Freight and paid $5 for these. It is not a pretty color. It's just silver, but $5. So I do like to put it on the side so that I've got something else that is magnetic. Now on the bottom, which you can't see, but there's a bottom down there, I will put whatever project I'm currently working on, the project bag. Or if like I know this week I want to work on these 3 projects, I'll put them on that bottom tier, and then I can just grab them as I want to work on them. And then also my perimenopause fan. Has anybody seen these? Hilarious. I love it so much. It goes around your neck. It's the perfect little like fan, and it's so helpful. I'm trying to remember where the button is. Here we go. And it just blows air. It has 5 different settings. It's wonderful. So this always sits on the bottom tier too, in case I might need it. Okay, so, oh, I was going to tell you, these came from Costco. They were a 2-pack for $40. A friend who our sons are best friends, she is having some of the same difficulties I am. So her husband went and bought us these and gifted us each one, which was very kind. So that is the cart. I have been meaning to show you that for a while because I just think I love to see other people's organization. Like, I think that that's one of the things I love about community, is that we can like benefit from each other, and like, oh, I didn't think to do it that way, or I didn't think that, like, I didn't know you. I learned about the jewelry cases from another floss tuber. So I'm like, I didn't realize that even the travel cases you could use as travel stitching cases too. So I love that. And I'm nosy. I love to watch people's craft room tours. You all have some really cool craft rooms. So that is, I think, all that I have for you today. Thanks for letting me ramble about my cart and letting me show you some projects. I am quilting. I got an email this week from a sweet lady that asked about my alpaca sewing mat, and I do still use it, and I love it way more. I have a wool mat and I don't love it as much, but my alpaca mat I love a lot. And I'm not sure if she still makes them. She is a rescue farm for alpacas, and she was using their fur to make like these wonderful ironing mats. But I got an email. In this email, she was asking about the alpaca mat, and she was like, "Do you quilt anymore?" Which I get that question in the comment section a lot. But I am quilting. I started Christmas quilt this week at that the husband that bought us that thing at Harbor Freight. I was at her house quilting this week and started a cute little holly quilt, which was really darling. I need something to hang over the fuse box that we cover up in our living room. I was hanging a quilt over it with the door shut, so it's not a issue, like it's not a fire hazard. But I say that and then people are gonna be like, you're dumb. That is definitely a fire hazard. So anyway, I started a quilt this week. I finished a quilt. Do I have it? I think, where did I? Oh no, it's not. I see it. I finished a quilt earlier. I was gonna say this month, but it's November. In October, I finished. It's just one big star, and it's only like 48 by 48, so it's small, but it's a great little wall hanging. So I finished that. I've been sewing on my featherweight that I bought like 2 years ago, and love it so much. So I've been kind of working on that, and yeah. Okay. I think that's all I have for you. I'll stop gabbing your ear off. Thank you so much for joining me in the hive today. And you guys are always so kind to like welcome me back no matter how long it's been. So I really appreciate that. I love filming. It very much makes me feel like I'm just sharing my projects so that I can look back on them and have a place to like dump those memories. So thank you for being a part of that. All right. You all have a wonderful week.